Hey guys, what's happening? So here's one of my favorite photos. This is a photo of a part of a photo strip near Ryder Crater on the moon, and it appears that there is an object in here that does not look like any kind of rock I've ever seen. And some other channels have covered this, but I don't think they really did it justice. I'm going to shine a few more lights on it, and you tell me what you think below in the comments, whether you think I'm right or wrong. So first let me show you where this is on the moon so we know where we're at. That's something that no one did. And here we are, Google Moon. For some reason in the video it appears to be squished, so the moon is really round. But let me go ahead and zoom in. Oops. We're right here. You can always tell because it's the little white spot. And this is the back side of the moon, by the way. And so this is a fairly recent crater. It's in the Copernican era, which means that it's up to 1.1 billion years old. And we have quite a few, lighter colored craters, so it's been hammered. So we'll go ahead and zoom in a little here and check out the lay of the land. And here is Ryder Crater. This is a really bad picture of it. The impact came from the right, blasted everything out here. You can see the radiating lines of debris. The triangular shaped object down here, right about this area. So it's, and this is about 15 kilometers across. The object is down here, so it puts it a few kilometers down. Still pretty hard to tell how big the object is, though, because there's really no scale on these, on the strip, which is right here, by the way. It's conveniently shown right here, and this is exactly where the strip goes, and our object is actually way over here. Well, if this is really the strip, which it isn't, because it includes this mountain, we only see a very small piece right here. Okay. To get or look at the photo, all you have to do is go here. I'll put the link below. You scroll down. These are just shots from the strip. We have here a little bit of information. Ryder Crater, here's the coordinates. 15-kilometer diameter. A Copernican aged crater. A Copernican aged crater is 1.1 billion years to the present. So it could have, could be yesterday. We also have the geologic map. The geologic time scale of the moon. We are over on the right side here, Copernican. Eratostherian, up to 3.5 billion. They've got this thing covered all the way down to 4.5 billion years. So that makes the moon pretty old. The Earth was formed 5 billion, so somehow the moon formed right away. Don't believe the impact theory. It just doesn't work. I can go into that later. In fact, I think I even explained that in one of my earlier videos. Because the moon had a molten core too. Very molten. And I don't think that could just happen from an impact. Half the debris would be blasted out into space, which means the moon technically would be bigger if it came from the Earth. And that would make it a little bit too big, plus the way it's placed and always facing. There's just some strange things going on. So you want to continue down the page, and well, you'll see this. Here's a better picture of Ryder Crater here. This was the molten debris down here, and there was a lot of molten debris out here too, probably the darker of the material. But if you keep scrolling, you'll get to this. Now this is the strip. I'll go ahead and shrink that down a little bit. And this is the same one that you can download. On the bottom here, there's a link. It's 319 megabytes, which is kind of a big file to use. I put it in Photoshop, and it was very pixelated. It didn't work out too good. So I had it in a different, just a viewer, and it worked a lot better. So I'll go ahead and zoom in this a little bit here, but just to show you real quick, in fact, why don't I just, there we go. Here's the edge of the crater here. Put that elongated part over to the right. Our object is right here in this ejected debris here, right down in this area. And we'll go ahead and zoom. And what I like about this online viewer that they have this already mounted into is that it works incredibly well. And you can look at all these other strange shapes. Let's see, there's this one. There's a few more, but our guy's right here. And that's as far in as you can zoom. So you have to take a screenshot and then put it into your viewer, and then you can blow it up even more. But you can pretty much see just from this picture that it got covered by the ejecta from the impact, which means it was there before the impact, unless it happened to be flying around. And I'm not going to beat around the bush. As far as I'm concerned, it was an extraterrestrial vehicle. Whether there was somebody in it or not, it could have been laying there for millions of years before the impact, and it just happened to get covered up with debris. But you can see there's a big rock on the back. There's all kinds of material here. It's kind of covered. But it actually has reflection right here and here. So we'll go ahead and go into my photos that I have screen captured from this, and also from the file that I downloaded. I went ahead and downloaded it. So once we get the screenshot, you can put it in your favorite editor or viewer, and now we can blow it up and get even closer. That's probably about as close as you can get. It's not that clear. That is the original photo right there, but it looks a little bit blurry. So I have taken the liberty to hit the sharpening button, and now it looks a little better. We can kind of see what's going on here. We have a very large rock on the top here. I'm thinking that this thing is probably a couple of 100 feet, or at least 100 feet. Substantially big, because these boulders are pretty big, I think. And here's one laying right on top of it, so that probably either disabled it when it was parked, or it was already abandoned. It could have been laying there for 1,000,000 years before the impact, but the debris came from the right, and that looks right because this side of it has got it piled up on here. I don't know if this was moved in the blast, if it was closer, but you can see the shadow here, it conforms to this perfectly. And there's a pile of debris here which makes this at an angle, otherwise I think it would be totally straight, but the sun's coming from the upper left. And we have very bright here, so that's almost, it could be a reflection right all along here. And luckily we can see the curvature on this. So that is a very good rounded cornered triangle. And there is definitely something right here in the middle. And we have debris piled up all around it. I'm sure it got beat up. So that confirms really that it was there before the blast. And the blast could be up to, or I should say the impact, which was a blast, up to 1 billion years. So theoretically it's possible that it was there before, which means it was there who knows how long. There really isn't any erosion or anything, nothing happening. The only thing that happens is when an impact hits, this debris gets thrown around. So you could have something sitting on the moon, and as long as it didn't get hit by debris, it could sit there for hundreds of millions of years. If you follow the links around, you can get to this page here, and then you can download these maps, and these are gigapan photo strips, and they all have numbers on them. So it's that's another story, but you can do it. And you have access to a geologic map of the moon. I'm not sure how they did this, but it's pretty fairly detailed here. We have, here's the legend and everything up here. And these are the descriptions down here. So I thought that's pretty cool. Here's the contour map of the area. Another view of Ryder Crater. Our object would be directly to the right and just off the picture, down on the lower left. And just for the curious, there's zoom in on that other, what I'm calling a rock. I'm sure if this was better resolution, it would even look more like a rock, but it just looks kind of funny. There's almost like there's a hole in the rock here somehow. And I don't know what these lines are, but it's not part of this. I think that's just part of the, the blast. I mean, this stuff really got blasted, from an impact. So I hope that shines a little light on this from a few different angles. My final conclusion is, obviously there before the impact. The impact, it could be up to 1 billion years. Now that has implications. If there were flying saucers up there 1 billion years ago, or even 500 million years ago, or 100 million years ago, it really just goes to show that we are just such newcomers to this, to everything. Because we've only been here just a few seconds, relatively speaking. So, billions of years is plenty of time to get advanced technology. I mean, look at, we're already getting into space, and it's only been a few thousand years. So I think the numbers are on our side if we say that that is an extraterrestrial vehicle on the moon. Another what I would call breadcrumb photo. Well, I hope you liked the video, and thanks for watching. Be sure to give me a like if you do like it. That encourages me to make more videos. I don't make any money. So have a great day.